How's it going? Coming to you live from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Let me know if you can see me all right, if you can hear me all right. It is a very hot day, if you couldn't tell by my slightly sunburned face. It was my birthday 2 days ago and I decided to go paddle boarding, which I love to do, but my 30 SPF sunscreen obviously was not enough, and this is the result of that, so don't mind my sunburned face. Thank you guys so much. Oh, already got a super chat from Harriet and Jim. Thank you so much. Hi Alina, hope you're doing okay. Rio is fun. Harriet and I have been. We have friends there. Give our best to mom. Well, thank you so much guys. That's very sweet of you. And of course, if you've already been following me on Instagram, you know who my secret guest is here in Rio. But in case you don't, it is my lovely mom, Alina, who is joining me here.
Всем привет.
Да, всем привет.
Bom dia.
Yes, bom dia. Good
Bom
morning
dia.
from
Good
Rio
morning.
de Janeiro.
From Rio de Janeiro.
So we'll get into my mom's first impressions and all that in a minute, but guys, we have been waiting for basically an hour on this bench for a reservation to like the cafe here. I was hoping that, you know, by the time I started my live stream we'd be already sitting down, but that is not the case. Mom, can you check our wait list? Because I don't want them to call and disrupt the live stream. But seven people. Jesus,
Before.
that's crazy. We've been waiting an hour.
Half of hour.
What do you mean?
We can wait.
Another? Well, yeah, I mean, then we will have waited an hour and a half for a cafe reservation. A bit ridiculous, but on Saturdays and Sundays, those are like the most, you know, popular days for, let me sit closer to you, you know, as with every country, weekends are the most busy, so that is why. But we will hopefully sit down together in just a minute. Let me just read some of your comments here. It's also extremely hot, so I'm like worried my phone might...
Yeah, a little
Well,
bit dark.
that's because that's my phone protecting itself. That's why it's dark. Let me see if I can change it, but...
And clouds coming too.
Hold on. Oh, that makes me close the screen. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit hard for us because my phone is so hot that it's protecting itself by lowering the brightness, so it's a bit hard to see the comments. But nice to see you, Mitos. Rahul, thank you for coming out. Ukraine dude, Diana, thank you for letting me know you can hear me all right.
Всем привет, привет, привет. Все наши родственники с Украины, с Петербурга, из Одессы, все должны смотреть нас. Мы предупредили.
My mom,
Будем надеяться.
Mom, не все тебя понимают на русском. Most are English speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, so we let our relatives know in like Russia and Ukraine that we were doing a live stream, so hopefully they are watching as well. So hello to you guys. But Mom, what would you say have been your like first impressions of Rio so far? Because you've never been to South America before.
Yes, that's for me. It's quite different world, quite different reality here.
Yeah, it's definitely
I came
very
from
different.
Calgary was -10.
Yeah.
Came here +30.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And very sunny. Yeah. But first nicest expression, I think it's the ocean.
Yeah, the beaches here
Beach,
really are spectacular.
Ocean, waves, natural. Very different natural here. Like we see cactuses.
Oh yeah, my mom got a little too overexcited about the
Growing
cactuses.
from earth, not
Yeah.
from the pot.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
want to say a big thank you to Zulu for the super chat as well. Thank you so much for the support. Very kind of you. But yeah, it's like, it's definitely a different environment with like the landscape here. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a view here right away as I do.
Yeah.
Mom, can you check our wait list? look at the spectacular view. Like, guys, this is why I decided to do the live stream here, where, as you can see in front of me, that is the beautiful Copacabana beach. This is the area where my mom and I have been staying. Definitely one of the, you know, most well-known places in the city, and definitely one of the top places for tourists to stay safe. And like, look at it, like Copacabana stretches for such a long ways, and at the very end there you can see Sugarloaf Mountain. If any of you have heard of it before, you will see all of, you know, that kind of footage in my videos coming up, but it has been absolutely spectacular to be here for the last couple of weeks. And where we are live streaming from is a place called the Fort de Copacabana, the cannon, as you can see behind my mom there. This really was a military defense sort of place. More than, I guess, 40-50 years ago. They closed it in 1987, I believe, but there were a few conflicts where this fort was in use. So now there's like a museum here. You get, you know, an amazing view from the top, where we'll go later. And yeah, now it's, you know, basically just a place where people can come to visit and learn about history. And that cafe right there is the one that we are waiting on. So what number are we on, Mom? 6? Are you serious? Oh my God. How long is this gonna take? The cafe actually is called Colombo, and I think this is a secondary location to the famous one that they have downtown that we went to. And the Colombo cafe is actually the second oldest cafe in all of Rio de Janeiro, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it is beautiful. 100% recommend checking it out if you come to Rio. So they have another branch with, you know, basically the same food and drinks here, and you have this absolutely beautiful view. So don't come on a weekend would be my suggestion, because it's so busy. If you come here during the week, it's definitely, you know, much more manageable, and you should be able to get a seat. So I just figured I'd live stream, because most people have it off. Let me answer some of your questions here, guys. Well, first question that I actually see here from Airhead Knight. Hey Alina, is Brazil an ideal destination for someone who is looking to spend 3 weeks solo vacation? Is it safe, and are there things to do to keep occupied for 3 weeks? Yeah, I mean, you know, Rio's gonna be like any other major city in, you know, Latin America and stuff. You definitely do have to take, you know, certain kinds of precautions, and most importantly, you know, ask locals or do a lot of research about which districts of the city are safe to stay in, because that's really it. Like, if you're in Copacabana, there is a really big police presence. So unless you're going to some side street or something by yourself, it's far less likely that, you know, something's going to happen. Like, at the same time, especially if you're solo, you shouldn't be, you know, flashing your phone or camera or something too much. But overall, in these areas, it's not as much of a risk. Like, if you go to some areas where you are just totally alone, where there isn't a police presence, and especially, we'll get into it later, where, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but like on the hill over here, there are these areas which are called favelas, which of course is usually more lower income sort of neighborhoods, but that's actually not the issue. The issue is that they are actually controlled by drug cartels, and in Rio, I believe there are 3 or 4 different kinds of groups, and that's actually where the majority of the violence, you know, and especially gun violence comes from, is that these different cartels are like warring against each other, and you shouldn't be going into some of those areas probably at all, but especially if you don't have, you know, a local from that area to keep you safe and kind of vouch for you. And it's really easy to just like walk into those kind of areas, you know, the start of them, and not know it. So that's a lot of times where really serious stuff can happen, where the police don't even go into those areas. and that's where it can get dangerous. So very brief sort of, explanation of the safety here, but more or less if you are staying in the tourist areas and you've traveled around Latin America before, you know how to take those kinds of precautions. There's plenty of amazing things to do, and I wouldn't say that it's a lot more dangerous than any of the other major cities in Latin America. What number are we on, Mom? 5? Jesus. All right.
Показывай, пусть смотрят пляж,
Well-
пусть смотрят вон как плавают, смотри, он наведено
Yeah.
на каждого.
Yeah. What has been...
Собак много, кстати, скажи.
There's a lot of
По
dogs,
пляжу
my mom
бегает.
says. Yeah,
И
there's lots of
такие
cute dogs.
породы разные, что в жизни таких не видела.
Yeah, lots of different breeds. Oh, we got a super chat from Jim Ross. Thank you so much for coming out as always. Instead of a walk and talk with Alina, the new normal is a sit and enjoy a drink. A wait for brunch with mom is just building anticipation for the grub. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's sad because, I really did enjoy fully walking around a city, with my phone and gimbal and giving you guys, tours that way, but it is just, not the best idea. Like, sure, there's a chance absolutely nothing would happen, but if you are, a solo person who constantly has their phone out, you definitely will stand out. Like, people do take their phone out and check it, but I don't see anybody like walking around live streaming or just, doing stuff like that. So I don't really want to draw attention to myself in that way, and I really would prefer to have my phone at the end of this trip. So for my Latin American live streams, I think I have to find places like this one where there's literally like military personnel, that check all your papers, like your vaccine and everything, to get into the, fort. And there's guys with machine guns in the fort, so I highly doubt anybody's going to be stealing my phone in here. So we are fairly safe. But thank you for the super chat, Jim Ross. Much appreciated.
Какие-то вопросы, может, есть?
Got bugs all over me. But Mom, what would you say has been like your favorite things that we've done so far, other than the beaches here in Rio? What's been your favorite?
Ну, в Рио,
По-английски.
наверное, Most Express.
Well, just things that you liked, like things that you liked so
I
far.
think that moment when we went to the Christ
Oh yes,
statue,
we went to see Christ the
Yes.
Redeemer. That was really
we
cool.
got very informative and very knowledge guy who was bring us to there. His name.
Tiago. Yeah, we had a
Tiago.
really nice tour guide. Gonna put on my sunglasses. Who took us to like all the main attractions. Was such a cool guy.
Yes, and without him it would be look different.
It'd be harder,
Much
yeah.
different.
Because it's like to go to Christ the Redeemer is actually kind of easy by yourself. You don't need a tour guide. But then we also kind of went downtown. And yeah, if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't want to walk around solo with a camera in that part of the city. So I was really grateful that we had him to be our bodyguard / tour guide. So it was very nice.
Вертолеты разлетались.
Charlie asks, are you going to visit Sao Paulo? Yes, I am. It's interesting because Sao Paulo will be the place that I'll be flying out of when I leave the country. Yeah,
Transfer.
it's usually the most popular airport to like go to international
Rio.
destinations from. But also when I'm moving around the country, I've kind of been looking at domestic tickets in between the places that I want to go, and so many places like route through Sao Paulo. So I don't know if I will just do, straight connections or if I'll actually spend any extra time in between in Sao Paulo. But it's interesting where like literally every flight I looked at, you had to like transfer through Sao Paulo because it's such a popular airport for flights. Yeah. David Johnson just made a mention. So sorry, Mom did not get to go to Sugarloaf. That was wrong. Could have had your own gondola. Yeah. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I already like mentioned this. But one thing that really was just, I mean, dumb. I'll call it what it is. Yeah. It was disappointing, and like there's really just no reason for it. Where we've gone to all the different attractions around the city, had no issues, like same with restaurants.
They
You
check
do,
the vaccination
yeah,
records.
they check your vaccine passport, but we get to Sugarloaf and they're checking our papers and all of a sudden say that my mom can't go because she's over 50 and doesn't have a booster, which I don't understand why that should matter when to get into Brazil you just need, you know, to be double vaxxed, which she is. But for a cable car ride, like a 5-minute cable car ride where you're wearing a mask, it wasn't even crowded, they wouldn't let her on because she didn't have a booster. Like, I don't have a booster either, but I was let on because I'm not over 50, but for her they wouldn't make an exception.
Хорошо, что мы поднялись к кресту, и мы там увидели обзор
Yeah.
города. А
So-
так бы я не увидела.
Yeah, my mom said at least we were able to go to the top of Christ the Redeemer and get an amazing view of the city, because otherwise, you know, she wouldn't have got one. But I was pretty disappointed, and I even reached out to their social media team and I was like, come on, like, what is this? Like, literally, you're the only place that has asked for a booster. And how can you even do that? Like, how does a tourist attraction, how are they able to ask for more vaccination for a particular age group than the documents you need to get into the country? I don't understand how that's even a thing. So that was a bit disappointing. Thank you very much to John Houston. Says, please check your PayPal when you get a minute. Greetings to Mom. Thank you so much, John. That is very sweet of you. From JFP, a super chat. You and your mom look like sisters. I think we do. Thank you very much.
I'm old sister.
Just slightly,
Not
very
yet.
similar.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
we actually get that a lot, where we definitely, obviously, have a lot of similar features. But especially, I think, when you look at pictures of you as, like, you know, a toddler, and you look at pictures of me as a toddler, it is so similar. Like, we literally have, you know, such a similar face.
Similarity.
So thank you very much for the super chat. A few of you have said that they wanted a bribe to let your mom go. You know, I don't think that's the case, because it was like some, you know, younger chick too or whatever, and, you know, she was just, I don't know, either she's following some kind of rules that I'm not aware of, or just wanted to be difficult or something.
Maybe
But
just that place has a regulation.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't be allowed to have a regulation that is different than, like, the federal regulation to get into the country. And, like, for something, this isn't like, you know, you have your mask off and it's like full on body wrestling, like, you know, COVID risk here. It's literally you're wearing a mask on a gondola for 5 minutes before getting outside, being in the open air and looking at a view. Like, I don't see what the COVID risk is in that, but anyways, I just won't give them a positive review for all that will do. Saw a couple super chats here. Thank you very much to Larry Barrett. Very sweet of you, and very cute sticker. Thank you so much. And then another one from Oded Kedem. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Alina. Will you visit the Brazilian countryside too? And have you decided where you'll go next? Thank you very much, Oded. So I kind of have my places that I think, you know, are musts. And the places that I'm for sure going are going to be like Iguazu Falls, Buzios, Florianopolis, and then the one that I'm fairly certain I'm going to go to, I just have to find the right company to go with, is the Pantanal. So, oh, Mom, did you get a message? I got some kind of notification. All right, guys, we're going. Time for a coffee. Let's make it happen. Let's go. My mom literally has the biggest purse, I swear. I'm just like, are you going for like a week somewhere? She has everything in the kitchen sink in there. No попозже. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I want to find the right company to go to the Pantanal with. If you guys haven't heard of that area, I mean, it's similar to the Amazon in the sense of like it's a really big like wildlife nature sort of area, but the reason I'm choosing the Pantanal over the Amazon is that right now the Amazon is super rainy, like it's going to be super wet, but the Pantanal, even though it's going to be raining, is an ideal time to actually see the wildlife there. One sec, guys. Hola. Hola. Alina reservation for 2. Yes, thank you. Oh, sorry. All right, guys, we're just getting our reservation. I'll flip the camera here. Perfect, thank you. I think we go to the lady over here. But yeah, look how great this is, guys. Like this beautiful walkway, and you're in the shade, you get a view. Perfect. Hola. Obrigada. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Obrigada. All right. Yes. Finally, we have the Sidim. I'll like give you guys the views. I'm just gonna take a look here. Comments. Don't want to miss a super chat. But yeah, just to finish my, I guess, message to Oded. Yeah, it's like, so I've basically picked out where I'm gonna go. It's just I don't know how long I'm gonna spend yet in each place and like which order I'm gonna do things. So I'm still kind of in the works of what's gonna happen when. But thank you very much for the super chat. Big thank you to James Shelton. Thanks for the tips on Rio and Sao Paulo. My pleasure, James. Thank you. Lovely super chat from Michael. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Alina. Get something cold to drink for you and mom. Cheers. Thank you so much, Michael. I hope you and Alona are doing good. So happy to see you guys here. Let's see here, actually. So I think I know what I want. I need some caffeine. I'm gonna get a cappuccino. What do you want? Did you want that brie cheese or whatever?
No.
So can you scan it, because they might not understand us, so we should see the menu. So just scan and bring up their menu. All the QR code menus nowadays. I hope they actually stop doing those. I miss like old menus. I know, you know, I guess it saves paper, but sometimes my phone doesn't like scan it properly and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, well, I think we'll have to show them on the phone what we want to order. Let's see here. Well, let me, no, подожди, Mom. Let me just see here. Oh, this is different. Oh, what the hell? This is different. Okay. This is not good. How do I get English here? Ah, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. We need to get this set up because a lot of times, like, people speaking English here has been 50-50 in tourist spots. Like, some do, but a lot don't. So unless we can point to the thing on the menu, sometimes they don't understand what we want. So I just want to get it set up for when they come around. So I wanted the lemon tartlet and a cappuccino, and then you wanted
Cheese with apricot jam.
yeah, the forte cheese. Okay, yeah, so when they come out we can order. All right, we got that set up. Let me just take a look here. I saw there was, did I miss a super chat? No, I answered to Michael. Okay, perfect, awesome. So give you guys a view here. Look how gorgeous it is. So beautiful. And the beach is pretty packed today too. Like, it's pretty incredible that like all the way down here there are people, and it's like a wide beach too. So yeah. Oh my gosh, so funny. So jet lag warriors are in the house, who we met with yesterday. We got Steve and Ivana. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and the perfect comment to make as we are sitting here, where they said the cappuccino, make sure you order no chocolate, because you guys, when I first got to well, I guess Brazil, I was like ticked off, where every single time I ordered a cappuccino, there was like melted chocolate in the bottom, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I didn't ask for chocolate in my cappuccino. Like, are they trying to like upsell me for like something I didn't ask for or something? And then I learned, as I talked to some Brazilians, that like that's the norm here, that they always put chocolate, whether it's melted chocolate or like chunks of chocolate, at the bottom of a cappuccino, and then, you know, everything else is the same. And so for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why in the world are they putting chocolate in my cappuccino, until I asked a Brazilian. And now I have to remember that every time I want a cappuccino, because I don't want chocolate in there, I have to say no chocolate. So thank you to the lovely jet lag warriors for reminding me. And also want to tell you guys to go check out their YouTube channel. They are the nicest people, have some amazing videos, and we're gonna have some collab videos coming out in the next few weeks on my channel and on their channel. Yeah, and yesterday we even hung out all together with my mom.
Yeah, we went to the botanical garden.
Yeah.
In Rio all together, and it was amazing time.
Yeah. Well, it was, I mean, they'll show you guys in the video, but it was such a surprise to see how amazing their botanical gardens was.
Categories of woods, categories of plants, even monkeys you see.
We even saw monkeys.
Monkeys,
yes.
small one, was riding on the ground.
Oh, it's not for us.
Yes.
Yeah. A very
amazing,
cool
like,
place.
National Geographic.
Yes, yeah. So you guys will see all of that in their video. We had such a good time. Thank you so much for the super chat, Arun. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out, and hope you have a fabulous day. Want to say a big thank you to Kat. Sue, thank you so much. Hi Alina and Mom, happy birthday. I can hear and see you well from Japan. My relative also live in Sao Paulo. Thank you for sharing beautiful beaches and sky. Have fun. Thank you so much, Katsu. Yes, all good. Let's see here, I'll show you guys. Can we get the 1 forte cheese? Yeah, see, this is what I thought would happen. Okay. No, нет, на него, я на него сейчас. Okay. Wait, it was way up here. Forte cheese? Brie cheese? One of those? Forte cheese. Yes. No, one. And then the lemon tartlet. And yes, one.
Drinks.
Agua газированная.
Yes.
Agua cum gas. One agua cum gas. And one cappuccino, no chocolate. Yeah. And that's great. Yes. Yeah.
Like Italian style.
Mom, нормально.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, obrigada. Perfect. All right. Yes. See, you need to always order from the menu, because it's interesting, because see, in Latin America, like the tourism from English-speaking countries is really not that much, like in comparison to tourism from, you know, other countries in Central and South America. It's much more. So if people in Brazil speak a second language other than Portuguese, it's definitely going to be Spanish.
French. Some population speaks French here.
Well, probably a minority. But
Remember when we walked, some people ask, you speak French
I don't know.
instead of English?
Yeah. So yeah, it's like English is, you know, somewhat spoken, but definitely not a lot. You definitely need Google Translate to make it happen. And because I've kind of been in like bit of a whirlwind of like trying to figure out stuff and showing my mom around, my Portuguese is about right here, other than thank you. Though I will say, because I do know some Spanish, sometimes like if I can't make Google Translate word, I'll try remembering my Spanish, and then they understand me. So you know what, my Spanish has actually come in handy. So yeah, sorry I had to cut that off, but thank you once again, Katsu. That's very kind of you. And yeah, I actually wanted to make a mention that in Brazil, I think I'm saying this correctly, where they hold the like second largest population of Japanese people, like outside of Japan, or I guess, how do I say it? The largest population of Japanese people living outside of Japan is in Brazil, is what I want to say. So that's actually pretty cool. And I remember actually when I was living in Tokyo, a lot of people who were actually promoters in the club business, makes sense, were Brazilian Japanese. So pretty cool that that's a thing. Thank you once again to Harriet and Jim for the super chat. Rio Pierini is a lovely town to visit in the Amazon if you get a chance. Happy birthday, Alina. Cheers, Jim and Harriet. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, there's so many places to visit in Brazil, to be honest. Like, at first, I really had an itinerary where I was like jumping all over, you know, the country, all these different places I wanted to see. But then I realized I really had to be practical. One sec, guys. We got our drinks coming up here. We got the aqua com gas. That means like with gas or whatever. So see, when you say mineral water, that means nothing. So you say aqua com gas to get sparkling water. Thank you, obrigada.
Lemon juice.
Yeah, I think that's lemon juice. Yeah.
Да. Lemon juice.
You can do a shot of that for extra immunity. Yeah, so I got really overwhelmed of like, oh, I want to do so many things, but like honestly, I'm only going to be here like 2.5 months, I guess. So it's way too big of a country to be trying to see more than I think 7 or 8, you know, kind of areas. So I think I'm just going to pick my top choices, also basically the safest places that I could really find, because I am going to be solo. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do for this trip, and then hopefully another time I will return to Brazil and be able to do more of like the Amazon and more of the north, because a lot of what I'll be doing on this trip is going to be like central to south of the country. Thank you so much to Brianna for the super chat. Very kind of you. Hello, gorgeous. Great seeing you smiling and relaxed. Thank you so much, and I hope you're doing good, girl. Sending you a big hug. Donald Pearson asks a question of, is it expensive here? So I would definitely say yes, it is, compared to like Colombia, 100%. Rio, you know, in comparison, you know, as a major city to like Medellin or Bogota, is at least double the price, like at least on a whole. So, Mom, how have you found it coming like from Canada, price-wise?
Not cheap.
Yeah, like it's still less expensive than Canada for sure. Like our hotel that we're staying at, like beachfront Copacabana, is about, in Canadian dollars, is like 130 Canadian dollars a night, breakfast included. In American, I guess that'd be a little bit over 100. So of course, if you were staying in a place, you know, farther back, maybe you could get something for 80. But because of the security and just wanting to for sure be in a safe place close to the beach, you know, I thought it would be worth it to spend more money.
Own roof.
Yes, yeah.
With a view and swimming pool, like and gym.
Yeah. It's a really nice hotel, and you know,
Not
worth
big
it.
one, but enough.
Yeah. So it's like in Medellin, oh my gosh, for $140 you would get like something nice, like nice. Because I was staying at like a 5-star hotel in Medellin actually for 5 days when I got there, and yeah, it was nicer than technically the place that we're staying at, other than not having a rooftop, and I was paying $60 a night, so less than half. So Rio is definitely an expensive city. I know the rest of Brazil is, you know, most likely going to be less, maybe other than Sao Paulo, but I think on a whole, Brazil is more expensive than quite a few Latin American countries, and you know, that's just one thing we have to keep in mind.
Argentina, right?
Well, sure, like Chile, Argentina probably are around the same, maybe even a little bit more, but like there's a lot of other countries, well, like, you know, Venezuela, Bolivia, Paraguay, like it's going to be, you know, far less expensive in those countries.
Dayaga was recommend Chile for
Yeah,
visiting.
yeah, Chile would be cool. Let's see
But
here.
it's much bigger distance from us.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ukraine did mention World Cup final in 2014 was played in Rio. Yeah, I mean, like Rio, I think over the last like 20 years or so has become a much more popular tourist destination. But like I said, it's primarily tourists, I think, from Latin America. Sure, there's, you know, Russians. We actually saw some Ukrainians who were visiting, you know, in the last place that we went to Christ the Redeemer, and there was a whole bunch of Ukrainians and stuff. We've heard Russian, so you know, lots of different nationalities coming here, but not, you know, English or those other languages are not the primary tourist market, so to say. So yeah, like some people are saying it's not as expensive as we're saying for hotels, but yeah, guys, if you want to stay beachfront, it is. Of course, there's plenty of other hotels. Like if you stay in downtown, 100% you can get something like nice for 50 and 60. What?
Fairmount Hotel.
But that's beachfront. That's super expensive. But I'm saying, like, if you want like something for 50 and 60, you'd either have to stay like streets back from Copacabana. Let me actually flip the camera here. Let's see. Yeah. So you'd have to stay like 3 or 4 streets back, but the issue is, you see the favela literally on top of the hill? Like, my hostel, I stayed at the Alina Copacabana, told me do not go more than 4 blocks back, you know, like towards that direction or whatever, because that's where it can get super sketchy, and there are, you know, people who are on drugs wandering around those areas, and there's not as much of a police presence. So if you're cool with your hotel being in that kind of area, you know, that's up to you. I would prefer to spend more money and be, you know, closer to the beach. Or if you want to stay downtown, which can be nice and fine during the day, but at night I heard it's not as safe to, you know, be going back to if you are a solo female. If you were, you know, coming in an Uber or something, or with a group of friends, you probably could stay downtown, no problem. But as a solo female, I would much rather be in the safest area possible and spend a bit more money. So that's just my personal opinion. And also why it's so expensive is because right now is like prime season, you know, like Carnival has been, yeah, it's been delayed until April, but they're still obviously going to have parties, because this is kind of the time that lots of Brazilians get off. So you know, that's the other reason of why prices are so high. So if you came here in like the tail end of the season or something, absolutely these places would not be as expensive as they are right now. So that is a long-winded explanation on why it's so expensive right now. Lots of good questions here. Just circling through. Well, okay, one last thing or whatever on the cost. Jetlag Warrior said, we are staying at a nice Airbnb, but not beachfront and no pool. A block away from Copacabana Beach, $60. See, that is a good deal. That I will say, because they are in a good location. They found a really good deal. So, you know, if you're open to an Airbnb, then definitely you can find something for less. Big Much No comments, lol, I almost went camping in Rio and stayed in the favelas 2 years ago because I didn't do any research beforehand. I'm glad you're still alive. Oh my god. Yeah. It's interesting because actually our tour guide, Tiago, was saying how, you know, you really do need a local's help to tell you, you know, where to go, when or whatever. But especially for favelas, like there are a few that you could go into that would be, you know, totally fine, but it's much better if you have, you know, a tour guide, somebody from there or that knows their way around to kind of, you know, take you there personally. But there's, yeah, other favelas that it's like nobody should be, you know, stepping foot in there. Sometimes it is just going through a spot where tensions are high or something. But as a tourist, you don't know that, right? So it's like, just don't be wandering into those kinds of areas unless you have for sure a good locals guidance that's helping you around. But once again, don't mean to scare you guys. I think a lot of people got like the wrong impression with the video that I did as my last of Colombia of like safety tips. It's like, of course crime can happen anywhere, you know, all around the world. You're just in the wrong place at the wrong time or something. But, you know, if we look at the statistics, you know, Latin America in general, not just Brazil, or not just Colombia or whatever, you know, has more gun violence, has more robberies. So the reason that I put in the title Colombia is because that was the only place that I had been to. You know, I can't fully speak on all the Latin American countries. That's just my assumption. So just from my experience in Colombia, those were the tips that I would highly recommend everybody follow as much as possible to deter any bad things happening. But on a whole, like, most people will probably be absolutely fine if they go to Colombia, stay, you know, in a well-rated hotel with security, ideally, you know, be traveling with other people and not flash their valuables around. Like 95% chance, more than likely, they'll be fine. But, you know, in North America, we get so used to not even like thinking about the fact of like taking out your phone or, you know, walking around wearing gold jewelry or something like that. Like, that's not really an issue in at least Canada. I can't speak for the States, and nothing will happen to you. But like in these places, it literally makes you stand out like a target. So that is why I made that video, to hopefully like really make people understand that like there's no reason why you should be wearing gold jewelry on your vacation or carrying around, you know, a really expensive phone in your hand. Like, just don't do it as much as possible. If you're a content creator, so much harder to, you know, don't show papaya. But we try our best. Really want to say a big thank you for the super chat, Jim Ross. Very kind and generous of you. Well, happy belated birthday. The sunburnt nose gets direct sun and reflections from water and glasses is obvious. Get a good bottle of Brazilian wine on me and to enjoy with your dinner. As Europeans, it's needed to celebrate and enhance your meal. Very true. Thank you very much, Jim. And yeah, we definitely will be trying some Brazilian wine before my mom leaves. I've had a bit and it was very good, because that's kind of a wine that you don't really see in North America that much, like wine from Brazil. So we'll definitely give that a go. So thank you so much. You know what, guys? What I'm thinking It might be a while until the food is brought. Maybe I'll go walk around. Yeah.
И показать, да.
Yeah,
потому что
you know
сидим на
what?
одном месте.
It's fine if my cappuccino gets cold or whatever. Like I'll come back.
Да. Туда поднимись.
Yeah. One sec. I'll leave this here for now. One sec, friends. Take my mask just in. Oh, just literally just arrived. Perfect.
Oh, it's for me.
That's fine. There we go. Look at that. Yes. Obrigada. Oh, a lot of bread. Nice, nice. So, Mom, you wanted cheese. Look at that. That is interesting.
Кусочки сыра с джемом из абрикоса.
Yeah, brie cheese that I guess is like breaded and then deep fried. Very interesting. We got like different kinds of jam and stuff, so very cool.
Ты заказала
Oh yeah, they haven't brought my lemon tart. That's what I ordered.
сколько они хлеба
Lemon
положили?
tart. Well, I think what you do is like you cut the cheese right in pieces and you can put it on this. No, that's for you. That's for you. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, also one funny thing is like with the Portuguese language, I guess like Spanish, they have, you know, feminine, what's the grammar term, you know, like there's a feminine way to say things if you're a woman and then there's the masculine. So for the longest time, because I thought obrigado was like, you know, that was the way to say thank you, I was saying that, but that's actually only men can say obrigado. Women can say obrigada. Yeah, so I think I'm saying it correctly now. But yeah, it's very different when languages have like masculine and feminine terminology. Let's see here. Oh, children. Well, let me show you guys as we are eating. Let's see, what does it look like? Ooh, that looks nice. Good choice.
Сыр внутри расплавленный.
Yeah. All right. Give us first impressions of brie cheese. Oh, perfect. Yes, obrigada. Thank you. Ooh, that's gorgeous. What do you think? Is it good? Yeah. We've actually been to lots of really good restaurants here in Rio. Mom, what's been some of your favorite like restaurant we went to, or like food that you tried here? What was your favorite?
Первый день, да, мы пошли с тобой? После моего приезда.
Какой?
Палац,
Oh,
Кабана.
yeah, that was the second day that we got here. It was actually my mom's birthday, January 26th. So we went to the Copacabana Palace, which is a 5-star hotel here in the city that's been around since like, I don't know, 1920s or something. And they have an amazing kind of Brazilian fusion restaurant. So I took my mom out for her birthday and we had some really good food there. That was a really good place. And yeah, I mean, pretty much everywhere we've eaten has been like quite good, I would say, like really good restaurants here. So yeah, this is my lemon tart, guys. Very beautiful. And then look at my beautiful cappuccino. I hope that it does not have chocolate in it, but I think we should be good. Let me flip the camera here and we'll do a little taste test. Cheers, guys. I actually love that they put whipped cream on it. I can get behind that. Oh, that is tasty. That is tasty. Try my cappuccino. That is freaking delicious with the whipped cream. That is nice. And then let's see here. Oh, it's fine. The data packages thankfully aren't that expensive here in oh, that's soft, or at least this part was. The crust is hard. Oh, come on, okay, have to get serious here. That is a hard crust. Oh, that's beautiful though. Can't remember the last time I had a lemon tart. All right, let's try this.
И добавь лимонного сока в водичку.
That was really nice. Very fresh and delicious, but that crust, holy hell. Need a sledgehammer to like cut through it. That is my recommendation.
Вот покажи, как на
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Евгений, спасибо большое. Алина и мама, желаю вам счастливого отдыха. Thank you so much. Да.
Спасибо, Евгения. Спасибо. И вы тоже приезжайте в Бразилию.
Да.
По
Thank you.
возможности.
Thank you very much to SFC Paul Fowl. Happy birthday to my friend Alina. Thank you. Very kind of you. Yeah, so my birthday was on the 14th.
17th.
I don't remember when my own birthday was. It was on the 17th, so just a few days ago. And it was great, yeah. Initially, I think, just as I always do, I like over-planned of I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there and all this. But when it was actually the day of my birthday, I'm like, honestly, I just wanna go to the beach. I just wanna go paddle boarding. I wanna go to a nice, restaurant for lunch. And then the evening was when we went to Sugarloaf, which was amazing. But yeah, once again, I was very upset that they wouldn't let my mom in. But other than that, it was a fabulous day and just kicked back and was relaxed.
Great
So
memory.
it was really nice. Thank you to my friend Ryan for coming out. Very sweet of you. My feet are frozen here, so enjoy the heat. Oh, I will. See here. Actually, just because I'm gonna have a bite of my lemon cake and I'm gonna steal some of your cheese, I want to try
Давай
it.
я разрежу тебе.
No.
так вот.
I'm gonna have my mom answer a question that I guess, yeah, of course, is directed to her. Oh, but first, thank you so much for the super chat, Steve Mack. Sorry, I briefly missed that. Thank you so much. Very sweet of you. I saw a question in here that I get this question a lot, but I can't obviously speak for my mom directly, so I'll let her speak for herself. Where a lot of people always ask, like, do you worry about me traveling the way I travel? And obviously,
конечно.
well, ну, подожди. Like what happened in Colombia and stuff, like what is kind of her opinion on that. So I will let you answer that yourself. Just don't press anything. You can give your answer.
Ну, на русском или на
На
английском?
английском, если можно. Давай, мам.
No, of course, I was very touched and worried about that accident, what's happened with her in Colombia. Even on the beginning, like when she was saying me first what she is going to Colombia, so my first opinion was, no way, don't go. But Alina, she is always against rules, against...
I'm not against rules. I'm for pushing the boundaries.
Так, I am talking, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, guys. So, of course, I was worrying. It's a big blessing what everything went, how it went. And she was survived, and she was so strong in this situation and made her way. And I think just God looking after her. Hopefully, it first and last.
Yes, I agree.
Will be, yes. So thank you for your support, for your good words and all comments we've been reading about that, and it's very great what so many people worry and about her. Okay, I'm answered.
That was my mom's take on things. Yeah, I think, you know, as much as I think that, you know, what happened wasn't, you know, a regular normal thing that happens to anyone who goes on a running path at 3 p.m. You know, there's plenty of people who probably run that running path and never have anything happen. Like, people literally commented, they said, I go on that running path all the time, nothing has ever happened. You know, just sometimes bad things happen. And of course, when you are by yourself, you probably are more of a target. So, you know, I definitely learned a lot from that experience. And I think, you know, thankfully, because I wasn't physically harmed, emotionally and mentally is another thing, but because I wasn't physically harmed, that's why I was able to, you know, stay and continue my trip, because I did absolutely love my time in Colombia and would go back, as I've said many times, and because it definitely like prepared me for, you know, coming to other Latin American countries and, you know, many other places in the world. It did give me a sort of like reality check that, you know, you really have to be on your guard, and, you know, sometimes you shouldn't assume the best, you know, about places that you're not quite sure about. You know, not to say you shouldn't go, but you should take the extra precautions. And I think because I've traveled to like 35, 36 countries before Colombia, and, you know, never had anything like this happen before. Like, literally going to off the beaten track places by myself, I, you know, truly was in the mindset of just like, oh, people over exaggerate that these things can happen. I've never had anything like that happen. So when it does finally happen to you, it is a sort of like wake up call of like, okay, you know, most of the time, most likely nothing will happen, but I'm gonna, you know, take more precautions to make sure it doesn't, as much as I can on my part. I can't control other people's actions. I'm gonna just inhale the I had some tart that didn't get swallowed. Anyways, can't control other people's actions. All I can do is control my actions. So there we go. Do not want to miss a lovely super chat from my friend Alex. I saw it here. Let me find it. Thank you so much, Alex. Finally made it to you live. Have a wonderful day, and your mom in the beautiful Brazilian weather. Thank you so much, Alex. That is very sweet of you. I hope you're doing great, and hope you get to have a vacation and a much warmer place than Toronto soon. And then also a very big thank you to Liberetta. Thank you so much. Alina, you should really try the Caratao Churrascaria. They're in Copacabana. Steak in a sword and Japanese buffet. Eat all you want for $20. Yeah, that's definitely one thing that me and my mom will do before she heads out, is I'm definitely going to take her to like a Brazilian steakhouse where it's like all you can eat and all that. We'll definitely do that. So thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much for Life with David for coming out, and very good comment. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, that breeze is nice. Oh, Jesus. One sec, guys. Perfect. All right. The person that was spamming the feed, I just blocked, so don't worry, guys. I can't track all of the comments, but when somebody's spamming like that, that's an instant out. Aw. You got a nice comment, Mom, from Russell Carter. I'm a new subscriber and I'm hooked. Your mom is so cool. In her little interview, I loved her spirit. I'm talking. That was from the old country. Much respect to Mom. So, nice comment to you. Yeah. Okay, you know what, guys? I think... Yeah, it's less hot now, which is nice. I'm gonna have one more. Yeah. Yeah, you hold our table, Mom. I'm going to take the people on a lovely little walking tour, but then I'll come back. Tell him to not take my stuff. I ain't done. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. So this is the lovely street. There's a souvenir shop right there. And we will come down here and I'll give you a beautiful tour and view of the fort, because right now the sun's actually not as hot as it was even 15-20 minutes ago, so it'll be a bit nicer to show you around. As you can see, there are, like, you know, military personnel literally everywhere. So as soon as I actually came here with the jet lag warriors, I was like, this is my place. This is the place where I'm gonna do a live stream. This is definitely a perfect, very safe location to have your phone out. So a great option if you wanted to do, I don't know, like a photo shoot or something like that, or yeah, any kind of live stream, this would be a great place. This is kind of more of a food, you know, lunch, sit down restaurant, whereas Colombo is more of like a cafe. So if you wanted like a full lunch, then come to the place that has red umbrellas. See here. Where should we? I think I'll show you guys this. I'll show you this big cannon first, which are all over the grounds. Really intense. Gorgeous view. So just up here is actually the museum that talks about the fortress and, you know, all the different weaponry that they had in use in this fort. But just from the last experience of when I was here, I lose service when you go inside, so I won't be able to take you guys in, but I'll give you a view from the outside of the museum, and then we'll go up to this higher part and I'll give you a gorgeous view of the surrounding area. But I'll give you just a peek in here for the museum. These guys here. So yeah, if you go in there, you can learn about some of the history, but keep in mind most of it is in Portuguese. So ideally, you know, have Google Translate or something like that, or have a local who can translate for you, would make it a lot better. There's actually a lot of really cool like museums and art galleries and stuff in Rio. In a way, I actually haven't seen, you know, that much in 2 weeks while I've been here, because my mom said that the top thing she wants to do when she comes to Rio is enjoy the beaches, which I can totally concur. So most days we've actually just gone to the beach and relaxed. So I actually haven't gone to a lot of the museums, but just letting you know that they do look really cool and would be worth visiting. There we go. Climb these stairs. Today's laundry day, so all my shorts are in the wash. I had to wear jeans, so it is hot. It is hot for me today. See here. Oh, it's hot. All right. So from this bridge, you guys can start to get a beautiful view of the water here. That is amazing. Oh. The water here actually isn't super warm, like I will say that. Like you actually want to go to the beach when it's like plus 30 because then the water being kind of cold is a relief. But if you came here when the temperature was like 20, you know, not too hot, I think it would actually be pretty cold to go on the beach. Alright guys, I'm trying to read your comments, but it is so bright. Let's see here. Oh, sorry there. Missed a super chat from Martin B. Thank you so much. Great views. I have to really lean in to like read. Nice taste. Nice? Oh, nice taster for the Rio videos. Thank you so much, Martin. Yeah, I mean, I already basically filmed 3 videos. This Monday will be my flight to Rio, which actually was much more dramatic than I was expecting. And then there will be 3 videos from Rio because I had some really great things happen. So that will all be coming out. I hope you guys like them. There probably will be just a lot of content from Brazil in general. So thank you very much, Martin, for the super chat. Oh no, lower battery mode. What the hell? It's the heat. It's probably the heat. Because my battery does not drain that quickly. And that is why it is more challenging today. Okay, as I try and attempt to read the comments, guys, I'll give you a view here. One quick thing I want to make a mention of is that this fort, excuse me, is basically on the corner of Copacabana Beach, which you guys can see over there, right? And then on this other side, like going to the right behind, is Ipanema Beach, which is absolutely beautiful, has such an incredible view. And there's this little corner with the rocks, which I highly recommend you guys checking out, maybe for sunset or something, where you can sit on these rocks, maybe have a picnic or something, you know, have a drink, watch the sunset. It is beautiful out there. There's even like a little tiny beach in the kind of middle between the rocks. But yeah, Ipanema is over there. This fort kind of sticks out. And this Copacabana. So it's in a really, really cool location in between 2 major beaches. So let me give you guys a little tour around here. Oh, thank you once again for the super chat, Harriet and Jim. How many more live streams will you do from Brazil? Brings back memories of our time there, Jim and Harriet. Thank you very much, guys. You know, it's hard to know. We'll have to see how things go. The helicopter flying over top of us here. Yeah, we'll have to see how things go. Of course, I'd love to, you know, do them every second week at least, but it really depends where I'm going to be when. So I think Buzios will for sure be a place that I'll try and do one from, since I hear, you know, it is safer and more relaxed. So once I get there and kind of see for myself kind of what it's like, I might do one from there. And then yeah, we'll see what other places that seem, you know, more relaxed enough, what kind of areas I can find to film in. And I'd love to do one once every 2 weeks, but it really just depends where I will be and what the situation is. Let's see here. Just reading your comments, guys, but I'm giving you a gorgeous view. And also, some of you may wonder, I'm going to try my best to, you know, not go into details right now because I literally, you know, chose to do this, where you guys probably have noticed I have been quiet on issues that are going on in the world right now. And me a year ago would 100% be, you know, talking about it, debating about it. But, you know, when it is something so close to home, obviously I'm talking about, you know, the conflict currently going on between Russia and Ukraine. It's very complicated. I mean, obviously the situation is complicated, but it's also complicated on a personal level, because obviously I am both Russian and Ukrainian, where I was born in Ukraine, but, you know, my parents were born in Russia. We have relatives in both countries. Of course, I do not support any country that is being aggressive with war towards another one, but I'm not going to talk about the subject publicly on my channel because of the complicated family ties that I have, and where right now we really don't know what's going to happen. I really hope that this situation, you know, will be de-escalated as quickly as possible. I really hope that, you know, that is going to be the case. You know, my heart totally goes out to anybody that is, you know, at a risk for the situation and is living in fear right now. Like, that should not be happening. But just on my channel, I'm trying my best to not bring politics too much into my platform, because unfortunately that has definitely, you know, backfired, so to say, on my channel, and just causes, you know, a lot of division. So I'm not going to be talking in depth about those situations, but like, please know that obviously this is a very serious situation that I'm very upset about. But, you know, I don't want to speak about it personally, because I have family in both places. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And then the Freedom Convoy, that's obviously a whole other thing. Not going to get into that either, but I do hope that by the time I get back to Canada, that things are much more settled, and it's a much safer and more open country. That is what I will say about that. Okay, let me flip the camera here, guys, because technically what could happen is my phone could just shut down at any second because it is so hot out and it is overheating, and my battery is getting lower and lower. A lot of times that can happen with most phones if you're in a super hot area or a super cold area. Back in Saskatchewan winters, I would have like either my iPod back in the day just shut down on me when it was -40, or my phone not work. So it's the same thing with heat, where if you have it basically over 30 degrees and probably humidity plays into it, a lot of times technology just malfunctions, or the battery is much shorter than it usually would be in normal temperatures. So if suddenly I leave, don't worry, everything's probably fine. It's just my my phone ran out of juice. So this is one of the big cannons, because like I said, there was actually a conflict, I believe in 1922, where rebels, I guess, took control of the fort and were actually firing the cannons into Rio, like on Copacabana Beach, and they had to get basically like warships or whatever, like government warships that fired at the fort to try and get it back. I guess they did. So that is like the main incident that they had, where this fortress was actually in use, and then it was closed down for military action in 1987, and now ever since it's really been just a place for tourists to come to, and to kind of, I guess, have a heritage of some of the machinery that they had back in the day. Got another helicopter. Actually, on that note, it's crazy. In Rio, especially on the weekends, these helicopters will literally fly like on the side of Copacabana Beach, like getting super close. And a local did tell me it's just like a sort of like, I don't know, warning tactic to any, like, I don't know, people causing trouble or something like that. So if you're on Copacabana Beach on the weekends, don't freak out if there's like helicopters coming really close to the beach. I guess they are just patrolling, so to say. Just reading your comments here, guys. Yeah. Ananias, sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly. Rio was the capital of Brazil, and in 1922 rebels tried to take down the government. Yes, so that is when this fortress was in use. Ooh. If I wasn't wearing very kind of thick jeans right now, the weather actually is perfect. I will not complain about the weather even if I am sweltering, because instead of -20, I would much prefer this. In a way, I can't believe that it's like, you know, my birthday month right now, just because I've never experienced my birthday in a sunny, warm climate before. So in a way, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is February, this is, you know, the Canadian winter season or something like that. It's definitely so weird to be in a warm place this time of year, since I've never experienced it like this before. Okay, everybody's saying don't forget your mom, go check on your mom. Yes, I will, guys. We are going to head on back. We'll go finish our snacks. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a view of the top of Forte Copacabana. Very cool place to visit. And the entry fee is also like really inexpensive. I think it's 6 Rias to get in, which is like 2 Canadian dollars, which is like 150 US, something like that. So super inexpensive to come in here, and that basically gives you entry to the grounds. I will say that, let me flip the camera here. I will say that I have been surprised how much some of the attractions have cost here. Like Sugarloaf, for example, was 120 Rias, which if you divide it in a third, would basically be 40 Canadian dollars. 40 Canadian dollars for a total of 10 minutes cable car ride to, sure, a beautiful view, but $40? Like, what? I feel like that's a bit much. Like, that's literally like more than it would cost in Canada for certain things. Like, I remember going up, you know, the cable car in Lake Louise or something, and I think it was like $25, $30. Why is it $40 here to go up a cable car or something? Like, very expensive for some of the attractions. And also like the botanical gardens, if you're Brazilian, you can basically get in for like $3 or $5 or something, but if you're a tourist, $20. So I get it. I know, like, obviously I want to support the local economy, but as I said before, like, Rio has been much more expensive than I was anticipating. So I'm really hoping that like Florianopolis or wherever else I go won't be quite as expensive, because I'm definitely spending way more money than I usually would in my travels. So here we are, just coming back to our table. Oh, I see now that I can kind of see my screen properly. I see that I missed a super chat from Rahul. Thank you so much. Thanks for the breathtaking views of Rio. Have an amazing time with your mom. Thank you so much, Rahul. That is very sweet of you. And yeah, to be honest, like, I'm so happy that my mom decided to come out. It's been so much fun exploring Rio together. And to be honest, I was surprised that she even came out, because, well, you know, it is a place where, you know, you gotta take extra precautions. And initially she was thinking of going to an all-inclusive in Mexico with a girlfriend, but then her girlfriend wasn't able to make it. So I, as a joke, said, you know, why don't you come join me in Rio for my birthday, thinking that like, no, she wouldn't come. And she's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you're actually gonna come out here? So I'm really glad she did. It's been an amazing time, and I hope we'll have lots of awesome travels together. We're right here. Perfect. Привет. Мы пришли. Батарейка уже садится, значит, уже скоро когда-то скажет, что все, нету больше bandwidth. Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, all right. I'm just reading your comments here, guys, because I really couldn't see up there the screen. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, 2 super chats. Thank you so much. Jim Ross, once again. Alina's mom, you raised an adventure-seeking woman who is always pushing boundaries. That's true. It's part of her job to drive you crazy as she makes the world her oyster. I think her spirit is an inherited trait, but you did a good job. I think Jim, you are on the button. Thank you so much. And yeah, to be honest, as crazy as I am, I mean, technically you're the one who, you know, took the chance to move to Canada, and you know, also you've traveled to lots of the during the Soviet Union, you traveled a lot by yourself in those countries, right? So I mean, my mom's a traveler and explorer as well.
Countries. By Soviet Union.
Well, yeah, you
from
were
Far East to the
you were one big family back in the day.
Moscow.
So yeah, my mom's also an adventurer and a
life.
thrill seeker in her own way.
It's a life.
You go to Armenia, I go to Colombia. Same thing.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Christopher, for ice cream. He gave us a super chat. So that's what we will have to do maybe later today, because yeah, it is scorching out here.
Погода меняется.
Yeah.
Changing.
Yeah. Well, it's what I think we've been live streaming for almost an hour and a half, so I think it's 2:30. So once we finish up here, either we can go to the beach for a little bit, or we're gonna go buy some souvenirs or something at the mall or something before my mom heads out. So we'll do that. Yes.
Всем большое спасибо.
Подожди. Я читаю комменты здесь. Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a super chat in there. Always let me know, guys. I never mean to miss one, but sometimes I just goes by and then doesn't come up on my notifications. So, thank you all so much for coming out today. It has been a pleasure to show you a little bit of Rio. There will obviously be videos coming up in the next few weeks with like more concrete information of our experience here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Mom, thank you so much for being my co-host today.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
We'll definitely do some more live streams when I'm back in Canada for the summer. I'm going to be in Canada for the summer, so I'll do a live stream somewhere in Calgary at that time. So thank you all so much for coming
Всем
out.
большое спасибо за посещение.
Да, спасибо большое.
Эфира.
Obrigada. Thank you so much.
Всем здоровья, мира
Да.
и благополучия в семьях, домах.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to exploring Brazil. I think it's an amazing country, and I'm also going to say like Colombia also is like a phenomenal country. Highly recommend both, and I'm really excited to see what is in store. So sending you guys lots of love. Hope you have a great day and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.
Bye.